Welcome to 3B's World Podcasts. I'm Boni. Most of our daily existence is predicated on the assumption that the ground beneath us is a stable, stationary platform. In reality, the Earth's surface at the equator is rotating eastward at approximately 1,670 kilometers per hour. We remain unaware of this velocity because everything in our frame of reference, the mountains, the buildings, and the atmosphere itself, shares this constant motion. Today, we examine a radical thought experiment. What would happen if the solid Earth and all terrestrial objects suddenly ceased their rotation, while the atmosphere maintained its current velocity? The result is not merely a weather event. It is a total geophysical restructuring of the planet. To understand the immediate aftermath, we must consider the principle of inertia. If the Earth stops instantaneously, the atmosphere, which is a fluid body not mechanically locked to the crust, would continue its eastward trajectory at 1,670 kilometers per hour. To provide a baseline for comparison, the most violent Category 5 hurricanes feature sustained winds of approximately 250 kilometers per hour. The winds generated by a planetary halt would be nearly 7 times more powerful than the strongest storms in recorded history. The primary consequence would be a phenomenon known as atmospheric scouring. These supersonic winds would possess enough kinetic energy to strip topsoil down to the bedrock, incinerate forests through friction, and essentially pulverize any man-made structures. Because the air is moving faster than the speed of sound in many regions, the transition would be accompanied by a global sonic boom. The friction between the moving atmosphere and the stationary crust would generate intense thermal energy, likely resulting in widespread atmospheric ignition. The destruction extends beyond the atmosphere to the hydrosphere. Like the air, the global oceans possess immense momentum. A sudden cessation of rotation would trigger massive, eastward-moving tsunamis. Unlike typical seismic waves, these would be walls of water several kilometers high, capable of traveling deep into continental interiors. However, the most profound change to the oceans would be driven by gravity. The Earth is an oblate spheroid, meaning it bulges at the equator due to centrifugal force. This bulge currently holds the oceans in a specific distribution. Without rotation, the centrifugal force vanishes, and gravity becomes the sole governing factor for water distribution. Because the Earth is slightly denser at the poles, the oceans would migrate away from the equator. This would create a singular, massive megacontinent encircling the equator, while 2 gargantuan polar oceans would submerge much of the northern and southern hemispheres. In the long term, the absence of rotation would fundamentally alter the planet's habitability. A day would no longer be 24 hours. Instead, it would last 365 days. One hemisphere would face the sun for 6 months of unrelenting, scorching heat, while the other would endure 6 months of absolute darkness and cryogenic temperatures. This would create a violent temperature gradient, driving permanent massive storms along the twilight boundary between the two halves. Perhaps most critically, we must consider the magnetosphere. The Earth's magnetic field is generated by the dynamo effect, the rotation of the liquid outer core. If the planet stops spinning, this dynamo would likely fail. Without a magnetic field, the Earth would lose its primary shield against solar wind and cosmic radiation. Over time, high-energy solar particles would strip away the remaining atmosphere, leaving the Earth as a sterilized, irradiated wasteland, similar to Mars. In conclusion, the rotation of our planet is the silent engine behind our global climate, our geography, and our biological protection. It is a reminder that the stability we enjoy is a product of immense, balanced physical forces. When those forces are disrupted, the very definitions of land and sky are rewritten. Thank you for joining me on 3B's World Podcast. I'm Boni. We often take the Earth's rotation for granted, but it is the foundation of our existence. If you found this exploration of planetary physics insightful, please subscribe and share the episode. Until next time, stay inquisitive and stay grounded.